Avatar Merhaba Kite. Jay, Baba Walter, we wanted to have a meeting to celebrate you and your larger than life character, your taller than life character. um, so we have some folks gathered here and we're going to send you some messages of love. I also wanted to share with you a recording of it could be the last time that you publicly did this. There's a hole in my bucket routine with Anne McAvoy, so that's a little bit of history there. And then I have some photos that people have shared with me to share with you and you all, and then folks will digitally raise their hands and share some stories or words of comfort for you. And here we go. So let's see if I can find it real quick. There it is. Okay, so this is a video that got started just a little bit late, so you missed the very, very, very beginning with the introduction, but here we go. So sorry, there's a little titling. So this is a mini sahabas that I started in 2019, where it ran for once a month for a few months before COVID. So I'm just going to show you.
Hi, y'all.
Hi.
I'm looking for my husband, Henry. And you know, I can never find him when I want him. But when I don't want him, I can't get rid of him. Henry! Henry! Where's Henry?
Liza, do I hear your sweet voice?
Oh, Henry, there you
Hello
are!
there, Liza. How's it coming?
Oh,
How's
good,
it
I
coming?
need you.
Yes, Liza.
I need to wash off my beans for supper, so can you give me a bucket?
Sure thing, Liza. Anything for a sweetheart for all these years.
Oh, isn't that
Then
sweet?
I'm going to call on Rufus if that's okay.
Sure.
Rufus, are you back there? We need a bucket. Liza has her peelings that she has to get clean.
I'm just getting ready to feed the pigs. You can use it if you need.
Ah, well, this is it.
Good, good.
Liza,
Yeah, Henry?
there's one thing about this bucket.
Yeah, what about it, Henry?
I'm discovering there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Dear Liza. A hole in this bucket, dear Liza. A hole.
We'll fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. We'll fix it, dear Henry. Fix it.
Well, with what should I fix it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I fix it? Dear Liza, with what?
With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a straw. Dear Henry, with a straw.
Oh, Liza, I must call on Rufus again. Rufus, you have a straw. We need to fix this bucket.
I have a what?
A straw.
What for?
Well, for this bucket. You're bringing me a plunger. I don't think we can use a plunger.
We can cover the hole. Just
Yeah,
like
but
that.
well, how are we going to get that water from going out? We need something a little thinner.
Like maybe straw or something like that?
Yeah, maybe that.
All right.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Hold on, Liza.
Okay, Henry. I'm trying to be patient.
Okay,
All right.
so let's try it.
You got it now, Henry?
Liza, Liza.
Yeah,
The
Henry.
straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, dear Liza. Too long.
Well, cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Cut it, dear Henry. Cut it.
Well, with what should I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I cut it, dear Liza? With what?
With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, with an axe. Dear Henry, dear Henry, with an axe.
Rufus, do we have an axe back there?
Well,
We need to
ready
cut
for
this
some wood.
straw.
You want to try to use this?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right. Here you go.
All right. 1 minute.
Oh no.
Come in, Liza.
Hurry up, Henry, I can't wait all day.
Liza!
Yeah, Henry.
This axe is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. This axe is too dull, dear Liza, too dull.
We'll sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Sharpen it, dear Henry, sharpen it.
What should I sharpen it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I sharpen it, dear Liza, with what?
With an axe, dear Henry. Oh, with a stone, dear Henry. With a stone, dear Henry, with a stone.
Rufus! Do we have a stone back there? We need to sharpen this axe.
Well, I might be able to get you. How about this? That ought to work. Just kind of rub it on that a little bit.
Okay, let's try that.
Good. All right.
Let's try.
Hurry up there, Henry.
Uh-oh.
Do you see any sharpening coming? It's too dry, dear Liza. This axe is too, this stone is too dry, dear Liza, dear Liza. This stone is too dry, dear Liza, too dry.
Well, Henry, wet it. Dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, wet it.
But with what should I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I wet it, dear Liza? With what?
With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water, dear Henry, with water.
Rufus!
Yeah, boss.
We need some water.
Well, yeah, we do. That's true. We're gonna have a little problem there, maybe.
Fetch it with the bucket, Henry, with the
Oh, with the
bucket.
bucket!
Yeah, fetch it
We
with the
can use the
bucket.
bucket to get the water, Rufus.
Yeah, well, I don't think this is gonna work too good.
Oh,
Henry, get the water. For heaven's sakes.
wait. If you don't have another bucket, this is all we have.
Well, use it. Dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry.
Dear Liza, dear Liza, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in this bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. A hole in this bucket, dear Liza. A hole.
Hole in the bucket.
Dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. There's a hole.
Avatar.
May your Baba TJ. May he drain all the holes in our consciousness, and we may fill him with our precious love that he's given us.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna call this.
Wasn't that just so fun? Oh, Walter, you remember that? So I think I'd seen this very spirited version the Christmas before, so I was like, this is it, this is it. And then McAvoy said, I don't know, it'll make our last public appearance of this, and I think it was. So did you get some of that, Denny? That was hilarious, wasn't it? Hey, Jeff. And Kathy. All right, so I'm going to share some photos now, and feel free to comment on them as they come up. So I don't have a huge selection. I'm just showing what came to me. Let's see if I've got the right folder here. I think this is it. All right, good. So Nan sent this, and I don't know what year this is, but this is Jane Brown, Bob Brown, Walter. I don't know who this is.
Jane Mossman.
Yeah, now she's Jane Mossman, but at the time. That's fun, isn't it? So this one is also old. This is Laura Delevingne. In the middle. So
that's Ralph Jackson.
Ralph Jackson. Oh my gosh, really?
Which one is Ralph?
Well, the one sitting taller.
Oh, the one
Sitting
taller.
next to
Okay,
Chen.
and the other's Walter, probably.
On
Walter on his
Laura's
feet.
left, yeah.
Okay.
It's in
Oh.
Laura's house, yeah.
Hey, Ralph.
Ralph Jackson, that's you.
Yeah,
Oh
I've
my goodness.
forgotten about that picture. I'm glad it's a miracle that picture showed up.
Yeah, well, Nan sent it to me. Yeah, that goes way back, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
probably 71 or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 72. I think.
So at one point, Walter was president of the oh, no, I can't think of it.
Community Volunteer Services.
That's it. So Race
Yes.
Path, the Race Path community had a volunteer services, right? So he was speaking at
Yeah.
a fundraiser.
It was this was photograph was taken at the Brentwood auction, and it was an auction to raise money for the Phoenix Renaissance Foundation, and Walter was president. And the Phoenix Renaissance Foundation was primarily an organization to help the residents of the Race Path community, which was always very dear to Elizabeth's heart. And it was continued by Jane, and Ralph was president. And there's Ralph, there's Walter with some of the honored guests from Race Path. And, let's see what else
Yeah.
we have.
This
That is
I wanted to
Walter.
show the whole picture first. I got this in the wrong order,
Yeah.
but this is Easter.
Yeah, that's what this is in 2003.
3.
Yeah, 2003. And it was Papa's house on Easter morning. And that's Walter with his young daughter. And she is munching on a pizzelle.
Yeah.
Remember there was Martha Clancy.
made, yeah.
Martha Clancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a regular at Easter. My goodness, she
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah,
Look
we
at Jeff, huh?
we were regulars, and we of course weren't living here at the
Here's
time.
a little
Yeah,
zoom in on Zoe and
she's
Walter.
adorable.
Oh yeah, isn't that wonderful?
You know, over Jeff's right shoulder, that girl, I think that's Harriet.
No,
I
it's
thought-
North. It's
no-
North from Australia.
Oh yeah, Norris.
Oh,
yeah.
it is. Okay.
Mhm.
Jeff, you want to unmute and say something? All
No,
right,
yeah, just keep rolling the
keep
photograph.
rolling. I don't have a lot, but
Aw.
oops, out of order. So this is a 2016 birthday. And
Hey.
Kathy,
This is a birthday for Walter with my famous flourless chocolate cake with a white horse in whipped cream on it for Walter's
well,
birthday.
the
Yum.
whipped cream is important.
April 16th, 1948 was when Walter was born.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, really wonderful. And this is 2019. Also a birthday, right, Kathy?
This was actually Kim's birthday.
Oh, Kim's. Okay. And there's a couple from that. Yay. And this is Pat's birthday.
We have
And
lots
around
of
that same
birthdays.
time?
No, let's see, 2020 was this one.
Okay.
Everybody's blowing out Pat's candles.
Who are the people here? Who?
This is Pat
on the left.
Griffin, Tom Riley, and Walter Witkowski.
Oh,
Yeah, good
yeah.
old Tom.
Who's speaking on the other side?
And this is 2019 from Nan, but every day Walter would run all the way from his house down to the beach and then like 2 miles on the beach or something like that. He was like so determined to stay fit.
Yeah, and he ran marathon.
By the end, he was sort of shuffling, but he would run 4 miles every day. That's where I'd see him most.
Oh,
So this This was during that Kim birthday evening.
Oh, sorry, I got it out of order. Okay.
So I guess I think that was 2019. Yeah,
2019 or 2020, you said? Yeah.
yeah,
Aw.
2019.
I might have written the year wrong. That was something I did.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice picture.
Yeah. Ah, what a sweetie. Walter, you're such a great guy.
Hmm.
Oh, look at this picture. 2022.
One day I just happened to notice Walter. That's right. I was bringing Walter into the RT or some. I did anyway into the center, and all at once Barbara appeared, and then Jeff appeared. So you'll have it. I just thought, what a great trio.
Oh, picture.
Barbara loved Walter so much. Loves Walter, still
That's
loves him.
right. We all
Yes.
love Walter.
I mean, well, I should say like that. But in the past tense, I mean, we're talking a long time ago. And she used to give Walter a haircut, his haircuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Is that how he turned out like that?
I don't know. I never saw him like that in that picture, in that particular photo.
Yeah,
Never
right.
seen him bald.
You back
Never.
farther. You
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
see
know
this
how
stage,
that
huh?
happened.
What happened to his hair? Barbara, what
She
happened to his
gave
hair?
great haircuts, and she conceded to give to me as well.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Look what.
free haircuts. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the photos I was given. If people have any on hand, of course, you can hold it up to the camera. But yeah, I thought we'd go around the room because John is at an event, a family event. Let's call on him first.
Haze, we're getting a little haze.
John, you are unmuted, so you can go ahead and speak.
Okay, well, so I remember Walter first when he was one of the caretakers on the center, and he had a heavy beard, and he was always the heart and smile, along with Jeff, of being the caretakers on the center, and Barbara. And then Walter and I worked together in Race Path and the different communities in Myrtle Beach, and he was always the heart of that as well. And he was always an example to me of how to be selfless and how to wear a smile all the time. So I love you, Walter.
And so enthusiastic, not just a smile.
Oh my
but
God, that's John Leiter.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
John.
Ralph.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, Bob.
Ralph, you were also always the smile as well. So I'm glad to see you again.
I wish, yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Ralph and I can tell some stories about being in India together.
Oh.
In 1971, but we'll come back for that.
Another day. Yeah.
Another day.
And Peter, you had your hand up.
We first met Walter in 1971, our first trip to the center. It was around Christmas time, and Walter was out raking leaves, and we had a little interaction with him. And what impressed me was so much that Walter was in the Marines. And I'm looking at Walter and I'm thinking Marines and
Marines, tough guy.
How does that go together? He seemed like such a gentle soul, and that was my first impression.
Right. He must have made a wonderful impression on some of his fellow Marines, moving them in a really good direction. I think every time we come to the center, we would see Walter, introducing programs and this kind of thing. So we didn't live here for, until we moved here in 2010. So we would just see him when we were here, but he was always a bright spot, and we always look forward to seeing him way back in the day. So now we're happy to send our love and best wishes and get well quick to Walter.
And he was so helpful to us when we were thinking about moving here.
He was in
and-
real estate by that time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
so, he drove us around in his car and all that sort of stuff.
Looking
and
for houses.
checked out in various places, and the the place we live now, which is in Jim Meyer's original house. Walter walked in and just said, "This is your house."
He was convinced immediately. So it is, it's our house.
So here we are.
Something from Peter, and we'll
Thank
come
you,
back to
Ralph. Hey, Walter. It's Peter Goodman in Myrtle Beach, and my dog Rumi and I are sending love and healing thoughts your way. I have so many good memories with you. Some of my favorite memories with you are just being at the Gateway for about 4 or 5 years before COVID. I helped volunteer at the Gateway from 6 till 10 every Monday night, and then you came on around 10 and did overnight gatekeeper, and I enjoyed just chatting with you and hearing your stories about life in Myrtle Beach and being on center and just any stories that you shared, and you shared so many stories, and I enjoyed just listening. I also enjoyed 1 year helping you out deliver turkeys and gifts to the Race Path families in Myrtle Beach. It would have been maybe about 10 years ago or so, and that was fun. We spent hours doing that. Like, all the families really loved talking to you and catching up with you, and you knew each and every one of them, and that was so awesome. I guess you were very involved with that community, and I also enjoyed celebrating our birthdays together. My birthday's April 10th, and if I remember correctly, Walter, your birthday's April 16th, and we had some good birthday celebrations together. And I think Kathy's is right near there as well. I think Kathy Riley's is April 7th, I think, or close to that. But I also wanted to share a song with you, Walter. And I haven't played in like a while, so here goes nothing. I am the ocean where all have begun. I am beloved sublime. I am the ocean where all finally come. I am the one beyond time. I am the one beyond time. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of limitless joy, infinite consciousness too. I'm the music that never will cloy. I'm the ocean in you. I'm the ocean in you. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of unending peace, infinite hearing and sight. You from your chains I have come to release into my ocean of light, into my ocean of light. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of broken come, infinite bliss I am too. I've been called Jesus and Buddha and Ram, and now I'm Meher Baba by you. And now I'm Meher Baba by you. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love, drowned in my ocean of love. Che Baba Walter, much love to you, Kim, Zoe, and your granddaughter Gray. And Angela, back to you.
Yay. Yay. Thanks, Peter. Yeah. Walter, you can do this. We know you can. Chitra.
I first met Walter my first trip to the center in 1978. Huma was a baby, and Gil and I had gone to India. So I went to India before I came to the center, and I was new to Baba. And there had been a hurricane, and so we couldn't get on center for a couple of days. And then when we came, it was pretty trashed with branches and stuff. And Walter clued in. Walter, you gave me an opportunity to help. And so you took me around in the truck, and we picked up sticks and branches and spent hours just, being in the truck, doing the work. And it was so beautiful for me because I did not know how to approach Baba other than through work. And so it gave me a chance to just feel part of the gang, and because that's how I was used to responding to the spiritual world, is through work. And so I was forever grateful. And then many times seeing you, Walter, through the years. And then Gil and I had a little blip, and Joey talked, Jamie and Zoe told us there's a house available in their neighborhood, and we like all of a sudden thought, well, maybe we should get that house. And we called you up, and you helped us, and we were ready to sign on the dotted line at 9 o'clock the next morning when we had a family emergency, and we had to leave town and go up to Asheville, and that was the end of that. But you were so gracious. You spent so much time and patience with us, and handled the 6 a.m. call that we're driving up to Asheville, and just with, as far as I feel about you, is your elegance, and always clean. You always smell good. You're always kind and funny, and just a part of Baba's life for me. And just want to thank you for that, Walter. Jai Baba.
That's an interesting comment. Always smell good. I like that. Well, yeah. Walter, you're such a character. Larger than life, right? Jeff and gang.
Okay, I just say we're here at Dilruba, Walter, one of your old haunts. You spend much time here, and these are some of your old friends. Here's the hole in the bucket guy right there, Denny Moore, Kathy Riley, Nan is here, and Marilyn Sidis. And Kathy is going to start out because she has some nice things to say, and then we'll chime in because we had a lot of lovely times with, with you, Walter. So here's Kathy.
Okay, I think I need help from Jeff on this one. This is one of my favorite Walter stories. Jeff, were you the one who made up the rumor?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Okay,
that.
this is one of my favorite moments in the meeting place So I want to get it from Jeff how this happened.
Okay. I'll tell this. This is really funny. Uh, It was actually Ralph, Ralph Jackson, who he said he had a dream that Walter, when he was in Indy, he was at Indy at the time, he had a dream that Walter got engaged to some village girl, some in Pimple Gown, so Bob Brown and I were like very aware of the rumor mill here in Myrtle Beach, especially in that time. So what we decided to do is we were going to circulate this rumor that Walter was climbing up Seclusion Hill with Erich and a bunch of other people. And Erich just kind of casually said, why don't you, just marry that girl there? And Walter actually, since it was coming from Erich, he kind of took it to heart. And he actually went over to Pimple Gown and met her parents.
Oh my God.
And he was arranging to marry this young Indian village girl.
So that really actually happened?
No, it didn't happen.
Oh.
We just made this up. And so what Bob Brown and I would do, we would find somebody on the center or someone in a nearby community. And I would say, wow, I can't believe what Walter's doing. And and someone said, what do you mean? What's Walter doing? No. No. And they would have to drag out this whole thing that Walter was going to be marrying this little Indian girl, Indian woman from Pimple Gown. But we would kind of go from person to person and just say, oh God, are you sure Walter? No, what are you guys talking about? Oh, no, don't, and they'd have to drag out the details of this thing that Walter was getting married. So it spread all over the nearby community. And Walter was going to be coming back on I think something like Thursday. And there was like a dinner for him here in Dilruba. And Kitty got completely taken in by it. And so as soon as Walter came in, she took him to the back screen room there and said, Walter, now tell me, how are things going? I'm doing fine, Kitty. Is there some news? And so she tells him about the rumor. Well, he thinks that Kitty is getting that he should go along with the rumor because Kitty is saying it. So Walter, when people are asking him, he would, say that yes, it was true. He was going to be marrying this woman. There was one guy that offered to get him a house. It was, what's his name? People were all going to try to help him out because he was just dirt poor working on the center. So one guy was going to get him a house and all the thing and make this all really a beautiful thing because he was so dear to so many people. And so that Friday, I was, it spread with Kitty's kind of assent to this. It went wildfire. In fact, when Kitty came back to the table here where there were about 20 people to eat, he acknowledged the truth of this. So those 20 people went out and spread this thing. Okay, it all started with Ralph Jackson, believe me. So anyway, it came to Friday night.
And the place was packed.
Yeah, the place, this was like in the winter. Usually a Friday night, there's, maybe 25 people or something, but this place, I got in there and I was terrified. The place was completely packed. On a winter night, Friday night, and I get up there and I'm supposed to introduce this program. And I'm actually terrified. I'm scared because people have bought into this completely. We had no idea that this had. So anyway, I get up there and I say, well, tonight we're going to be seeing the slides of Baba and blah, blah, blah.
Wait, Walter wasn't doing it? Wasn't
Y-
doing it?
And Walt, yeah,
Yeah.
but there were going to be the slides first.
Yeah.
And then Walter was going to share about his trip to India. So I say, and Walter's come back and he's going to share his beautiful trip in India and something special in the lives of him and Rajiva.
And the
I
place,
just made up a name, an Indian name, and the place went like into this horrible, terrible tension.
well, there was I have never heard such pin drop silence in the meeting place in all my years at the center. Everybody's like waiting.
The tension is just terrible. And I felt like I wanted to have the earth open up and disappear because I put everybody, I mean, Bob Brown and I had taken everybody for a ride. And this is like, we could, this could piss people off. Anyway, so we see the slides and everything, and Walter gets up and he talks about, kind of unfolds the story and everything. And then when I was in India, and I was with Erich and everything, and I did, and he just stopped, and I mean, there's so much tension. Did what? I did not get engaged to any woman named Rajiva. And the place erupted. It was so loud and noisy. And eventually, Kitty had to get up and tell everybody to shut up. I mean, so that's how the rumor mill back then was so thick and everything. And everybody got taken on a ride for that. Oh, but was that it? So, so just no more gossip, just kind of keep it low key.
The fact that
So-
Walter went along with it is a big part of the fun, of
I
course.
know he did. But he drew that long sentence out. And when I was in India, I did not get engaged to some Indian woman named. The way he strung that thing out, it was beautiful. But anyway, I'm going to give you give you Kathy, and Denny's here. Denny and I work with Walter. A lot of workplaces, you have people that have attitudes and everything. Walter never had an attitude. Every time, we never even had any conflict. We had the most fun working here in this place. And the beautiful thing about Walter is he had such personal love for the guests. They all got to him. Even if he kind of ignored the work, sometimes he would have 2 cabins to do all day. I'd have to help him at the end of the day because he was connecting with so many people. I mean, kids, family, everything, everybody. He was so loving, so much loved, and so fun to work with because he was always cooperative and everything. But I said, Walter, you didn't get the cabin on the hill and near cabin done today? All day to do it. It was so cute. Adorable, absolutely adorable, Walter. You are the best. And we got a couple other people want to chime in.
You, Denny.
Oh, Walter, I don't know where to start. Living with you was an experience. The stories that Ralph was telling, I have no idea of your childhood, but you were unbelievable here. You would start working in a cabin, and we were some of us were trying to move on and get to the next cabin, and because we had the afternoon, we had to be outside. And Walter, you just finally threw up your hand and said, "Listen, I'm going to just tend to the cabins," and you did. You gave your everything in those things.
And he was so thorough, completely thorough, way beyond the thoroughness of the rest of us.
So that was a joy to be all together working in the cabins. I'm going to throw one in here. You took a bunch of the kids from Race Path up to, I forget, North Carolina, someplace. and for 3 or 4 days on a bus, and the bus broke down, and and so you didn't get back in time to clean. Neither did anybody else. This is Kitty's birthday, and I'm the only one on the whole crew doing anything. And I was running so fast to just drop the sheets someplace in a towel so people could start washing up, and I'd run back and I'd get another vacuum cleaner or whatever. But by that time, there was another love story going on, and that was with Kim. And it was so hard to sit through that because there was such love for Kim for you, and Kim lifted you up and gave you all that enthusiasm and belief in yourself to go ahead and start a whole new enterprise, working in the community with your own business. And it was, I don't know why we ever left. Jeff's the only one that stuck around cleaning cabins. But the rest of us had to go into the world, and you were well prepared. Kim worked with you and the math and everything. Just God bless you, Kim. Walter, come on, hold on a little longer.
Yeah, you are so loved. Yeah.
You can do it, Walter.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to find out from Nan about the part of the chapter after Ralph kind of left off about that when Walter came back from Vietnam, he lived in Cambridge and he had
Yeah.
become a hippie.
I only
Yeah.
remember one thing. We had an amazing birthday party for Walter. It was the most amazing birthday party I've ever been to, and I wish we'd recorded it. And he told us his whole story. But the only part I remember, because I'm from Massachusetts, he came back from the Marines and he was living under a bridge in Massachusetts and kind of wandering around. And it was like 67 or something like that. And he specifically said Green Street. There were a lot of communes all around Cambridge, but he got to know this commune on Green Street and got included, moved in, and I don't know if that's where
And was he called Father Joseph or Brother Joseph?
Yeah, he was known as Joseph. But I don't know.
Joseph, yeah.
Father Joseph, he might have just let his beard and everything grow. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the only part I remember, but the vibe of that party of he just was on fire. I think he was pleased to be having a birthday party. So he spoke for like 2 hours and he was fascinating. It was funny and fascinating.
Yeah.
So Kathy probably remembers more.
Yeah, just to mention that he was much loved by the Mandalay. They adored him. And you know, one quality Baba likes so much is guileless. He was really quite innocent and guileless, and there just wasn't all the ulterior sort of motives to things. He was just so straightforward, and yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all know all these incredible attributes of Walter Witkowski. I think Baba broke this mold when he created Walter. Don't you? I mean, there's nobody else like Walter in the whole world. And we're all so the richer for his purity, his childlike love for Baba. As I've been thinking about him for the last number of days, he really, I think, is the most must-like of us all.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he's like our Baba must. And you know, he just really gave his all. Walter, you're the best.
Yep.
You know, I in my birth family, I have one sister, and I was so happy when I became friends with Walter because now I have a brother. And we all have a wonderful brother, Walter.
Yep.
There's so much more to say, but
His
yeah.
kindness was so enormous that I don't normally hear the word kindness with must. Maybe it goes together, but that was really what his kindness and his sweetness and his welcome. I came here in 91 not knowing anybody, and he was so welcoming.
You are. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you don't have to be that close. Hi, guys. Yeah, Walter J. Baba. So I feel the absolute same way as everybody. Let me put this down. It's so hot, the machine. So yeah. My highlight for you, Walter, would be remembering all the times that you were at the Gateway, not the Gateway, I mean the Meher Center, in the evening. I think it was Friday evenings that you used to read from Meher Baba Calling. You'd give your announcements and you'd open up the book and you'd read at the end of the movie and summarize or whatever. And just the way you read from Meher Baba Calling was so beautiful, so profound to me, because you had so much love pouring out of you and your enthusiasm and your love for Baba, your love for us, and your purity. And I know you worked on it, boy, oh boy, because you got better and better at that. And I just was in awe. And I was just so grateful to you, because you not only hosted that little ditty, but you stayed afterwards. You would stand up, you'd come over to the people who were sitting close by, put your arms, give us a big hug, ask how we were, and go to the next person. And you were just like that the whole place. I mean, really speaking, you just tried to befriend us all. And I know when I was new at the center, you really made a big impression. I never felt so loved and accepted, as if I was, being embraced by a mandali. And I want to thank you for that. You will be in my heart. And I'm praying for you. And I just saw you a couple of weeks ago at Bob's house on the porch. And again, you just cut up and just embraced me. And the way you were talking, I just felt back in India. So God bless you. And Baba loves you so much, so very much. Jay Baba,
Yeah.
I love you too.
Jay Baba, boy. Yep. Here we are. Some of your we've referred to this stage in our life as composting. And look at, we're gradually.
Why do I get so emotional?
Yeah. No, that's how we felt. God. Anyway, Kathy Riley's trying to get a hold of Jim Meyer,
Oh, good.
if we can get him.
Yeah.
And we'll try to sing a song, but go ahead. There's somebody else there that's Jill Davis.
Go
Hi,
and
everyone.
then
So
something after.
I joined because of Walter, but there's something else that as soon as I joined, somebody mentioned Judy Robertson. So I'm taking that as a sign from Mayor Baba that it does want me to let everybody here know. And I did ask Judy's permission to tell people if it felt right. So yesterday, Judy had a very long surgery procedure for congestive heart failure. And I don't know how she's doing, but I do know that prayers for Judy would be appreciated. She's a mainstay of the Seattle Baba group. It's an incredible group with Meher Prasad and Meher Sapaz, and they just do a wonderful job. And Judy, of course, tells lots of stories and has lots of thoughts to share. She's got a great deal to say, and we all love her. So I want to mention that, and then I want to go on to Walter, because in one of my early visits to the center, and we all come into this, most of us come into the center from, dealing with a lot of stress out in the world. And I was working full time. And I remember arriving at the center and just still feeling so stressed out from the travel and my life. And I'd never met Walter before. And so when I was taken to a cabin, it was Walter who met me. And we got to the cabin and, put down my bags. And there was a heater. He pointed to, it was winter, so it was cold. And I don't know how to deal with things, even like heaters. So he pointed to the heater and I looked at it and I was going to say, well, good, I'm glad there's a heater. And then I decided to ask him how the heater worked. And knowing that he was probably very busy. And I'll never forget the patience with which he took, to explain to me
exactly how the heater worked. And not only did he explain it, but he then made the time to make sure that I turned it on while he was there. And then I turned it off. And then I turned it on again so that I knew exactly how to do it. And he never made me feel, like he had something else important to get onto or anything. And I never forgot that, what that, how he was. And so from then on, whenever I saw Walter, I just loved being around him. And one of the qualities that I love about you, Walter, is that all of this kindness was effortless. I mean, it just flowed through him almost. And it was like I could tell he never thought about, you know, who he was or how he was doing or was self-conscious about being such a wonderful human being. He just was that. And there was no sense of consciousness in him. And after he stopped working at the center, I really missed him. But occasionally he'd be there visiting, and we'd sit and visit. And I vaguely remember one conversation talking about the effort it takes to be with Baba and hold on to him and how aware he was of this effort. So I'm amongst those who have a special love for Walter and pray for him. Thank you for doing this meeting, Angela. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Walter, we love you so much. And Richard.
Well, excuse me. I'm recovering from what they call a septoplasty. But anyway, I don't have much of a story, but I wanted to tell it because everything that ever happened to me on the center at Myrtle Beach is very important, And so my first journey there, all I knew how to get on the center was there was a green gate. I didn't know the address. I didn't know anything. I just knew Green Gate. And I'd gotten a bus ride all the way from Denver. So I slept under the tree at the bus stop that night. And then the next day I was off hitchhiking. And I knew it was off 17, of course, towards the ocean and all that. But I didn't even know landmarks or anything. So I kept getting further and further north and in hitchhiking, I was going to rely on somebody else. Well, I finally got up to the South Carolina border and knew that I had to turn around. And about that time, a South Carolina police officer stopped me and checked out my backpack, blah, 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 wanted to know what I was doing. And I told him, I thought he would just give me a ride down there or tell me where it was, but no such luck. So I for that whole day, I went back and I went down on the beach and started just walking back. Somehow, then I slept one night in a hot water closet at a motel. And so then the next day, I started walking again. And I'm on the beach. I thought, I better go up to the road. And so I went up to the road. And pretty soon, I came across a green gate. And I thought, well, this is it, the green gate. Didn't look like they had much travel. A lot of weeds around, but it was a green gate. So I hopped over it with my backpack, started walking, and I thought, man, nobody's been around here lately. This is just a service road. So I'm walking and walking. I don't know when or where, but I got to a point where someone saw me. And I don't even remember if it was Walter or not, but I do remember that that's where I was taken. I was taken to Walter because Adi Kairani was going to speak. And I'd, of course, been on a bus and so he wanted me to be presentable. So I think he got some, what I remember, they were probably his pants and his short sleeve shirt. But of course, I was short, he was long. So we wrapped his pants up probably 2 or 3 times, as a cuff, right? And they were just bulky on me. But and then this big shirt, anyway, so I could tell, so I was presentable, went to listen to Adi. But anyway, then I did something I shouldn't have done, so I was taken back to Laura Delavigna's house and was shown to this room where I was supposed to be sleeping. And Walter had given me some sandwich and all this stuff. But Walter's demeanor during all this was what you guys all said. He was really kind, you know. In fact, that my second most important memory of even being there was just how Walter kind of took me in, was helping me out, and blah blah blah. And then Elizabeth came and had a chat with me, but but I never forgot Walter. I never forgot him. You know, for that those moments of getting me over to Audie's talk, and then later on, and I just never forgot Walter. I mean, he stuck in my head, you know, and it's not like I knew him for years or anything like that, but I always remembered that I was very gently and carefully taken care of when I first arrived on the center, very first moments. Thank you.
So beautiful. And I can just picture that. He was so long, so tall. He is like all the rolled up sleeves you must have. That's a funny image. Well, Walter, some of my favorite memories of programs at the center is you, like Marilyn mentioned, reading from Meher Baba's Calling with such gusto, like every third word was with conviction. But also, every once in a while, when you would get out that drum or that pot or whatever it was and start banging on it and sing God Man. And I'm wondering if anyone can do a rendition of the way Walter, you do it. You do it the best. If someone does a rendition, that'd be really fun.
Hey, Angela?
Yeah.
We've got on the phone George Eaton.
Oh, yeah, please.
We're going to see if he can speak and you guys can hear.
George, are you there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you? Okay, so George, you're on.
Okay, well, I remember Walter telling this story at my dad's memorial service on center. He says he'd just come to the center and he was so full of Baba and being there, and so, you know, all this elation and spirituality he was feeling there, and so happy to be there, so on and so forth. And he didn't know Dad that well. He thought, and Dad says one day, "Gosh, Walter, it sure is hot. Why don't we get in a truck and go down to Watson's store and have us a drink?" And of course, Dad, you know, Walter said, "I guess he knows this is okay," or whatever went through his head. So they drive down there and go in the store, and they're standing there next to the cooler inside. It was old slide top coolers, and you got it all and popped your cap all right there. And they're in there drinking and drinking and drinking. And of course, I think at the time, I don't think Walter was there when they had the old red Ford truck, but he might have been. But he was definitely there when they had that green Chevrolet truck. And so Walter's like, "Uh-oh, we've been caught." and Dad got mad and slammed the lid of the thing. "I don't call that Lady Patterson. She always manages to catch me. I just can't do anything but her catching me." And he went out to the car and talked to her, and I guess Walter followed out because he says, well, Elizabeth, I don't see anything wrong with a couple of hot fellows coming down here having a cold drink. But Frank, I have cold drinks in the refrigerator at Dilruba. He said, "Well, that's just not the same thing as two fellas slipping off down here to get a cold soda at the store." Anyway,
Thank you, George. That's a wonderful memory.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Of
Hey,
all
Jeff.
the caretakers, I just say of all the caretakers,
Yeah, go ahead.
Walter was the most patient with the guests by far. He just was not rushed or in a hurry. And he could just he could stay with something for the longest time, and others we would say, "Oh, we got to get on this. We got more stuff to do," but he could just unplug and just be there with somebody so beautifully and fully. Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
and I should say this not in the past because Walter, you're there, and we are trying to express just a little bit of the great love that we feel for you. Yeah, and so what were you going to say, Angela?
And you, for those who haven't heard Walter's rendition of Godman, I'll just give a little taste and I'll blow out my mic probably. So it wasn't a tuneful thing for him. It was all in enthusiasm. You know what I mean? It was like, do not do anything, but he will do everything. And he would be like, his whole self would be behind every word. And like I said, I'm blowing out the mic here. Like he was just pure enthusiasm. Oh, Walter, you're the best. You're just the best. Like you couldn't not just be carried away with your enthusiasm. Walter, you're so special. And we're all pulling for you. We really want you to make it so we can see you again at the meeting place.
Okay.
Yep. We're already pulling for you and sending you every bit of love we have, along with the cleaning buckets and the center trucks and all of that.
Oh.
Marcia, you had something?
I met Walter and he was so kind, and I decided, oh, I'm gonna want to live in Myrtle Beach. And he said, oh, I'm a real estate agent. And so he kindly took me in his car and drove me all over, pointing everything out. And then I fell in love with a house that was right on the edge of the woods at the forest. And I'm going to buy this house. And I didn't know it was going to be so expensive. And anyway, I was confident that my family was going to help me so I could live there, but some Russian people bought it. But anyway, he was so kind. He never made me feel guilty that he took me. It was like he was on this great tour, like, oh, look at here and look at there. And every time I came to the center, he always gave me a hug. And I'm rooting for you because we're praying for you and you're going to be fine. I know. So anyway, looking forward to seeing you again when I come back. Big Mama. Yeah.
We're wondering, is that Addie Woolback there?
Yeah, is that you, Addie?
Oh.
Might be, might be.
Okay.
Cliff, go ahead.
I'm just remembering something that makes me realize that Walter went through a lot, as Ralph said, in his early life, had a rough time, poverty. And he said that's one reason he felt so drawn to the African American community, because it was like his background. And he was in sympathy with that level of poverty. Then, of course, we know he went to Vietnam. Years and years later, here, Tom and I and Walter went to the 4th of July. There's a place you can just sit in North Myrtle and just watch the fireworks and, the sounds, the explosions. And we're sitting there on the grass outside the Risen Christ Church, looking out toward the fireworks. And all at once, very quietly, Walter said, "This is the first year I could come and watch fireworks because there's been such a PTSD from Vietnam."
Yeah.
And this was just like years and years later. And he was finally saying, I'm so thankful that trauma has receded enough that I can enjoy the fireworks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Cliff, you have your hand up.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, Walter, I have not known Walter as long as a lot of you have. But living here, and And especially once we moved, even, he was a real fixture doing the meetings every week. And, he had that authoritative way of reading the prayers, and he just, or, reading whatever he would read, and everything was accented. And being a drummer, and being a musician, the way that he spoke was exactly how you don't want to play music, because your every measure, you're accenting one really loud. It's like, and, and, it was just really intense. But boy, I really got a major dose of Baba every time I'd see him. And as his personality, or as his dementia was increasing a little bit, he wasn't remembering me, and we would talk, and it was still the same thing. He was just exuding Baba all the time, and in his own way, with his own personality that was definitely a sterling, just unique personality. It was a little commune of experiencing Baba's love with Walter. And I really feel that he's a great man. So, Jai Baba. Walter, hope you're going to pull through this. Jai Baba.
Do you want to sing a song, anybody?
Pamela. You're muted.
You're muted, Pam.
We've learned
Start all over.
reading, but not that well.
Muted,
Okay,
Pam.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I've known Walter for many years, and our families were very close because both of our children were from India. In fact, we took several trips to India together, and they were definitely memorable. And of course, one of the things that stands out is Walter singing in the during one of Bao's talks at the Pilgrim Center dining room, just singing Meher Baba God Man, and with full force, as Bao always wanted him to do it with full force. And so many of the things that people have said, Walter's kindness, his total dedication and focus on Baba, all of those things were just stood out, and I know he loved his duty on the center. That Friday night program just meant so much to him, and of course doing his other work. So, when he moved on to his work in the world, he did hold that Friday night program duty still, and that connection, and then doing the overnight that night. So that was huge. And when he gave that up, though, Baba, I think, really filled him with a whole other facet of life through his granddaughter, Gray. And it was it's always been a beautiful relationship to see, and just to realize Baba's tenderness in opening that up for Walter in these last 5 years.
And Gray has been missing Walter so much since he's been in the hospital.
Oh,
He
totally.
really has.
Could you give me a slight picture of Walter's family? Because I know nothing about it. He
What was
adopted
that?
his family. Could you give me a picture?
Can I send
Describe
it or
describe
describe them? Well, Kim is like a rock. of practicality and just hanging in there with a sense of responsibility to the whole family. Zoe is, 26 or 7, I believe, right now, and working incredibly hard, at a more than full-time job, and basically being a single parent to Gray. And Gray is an exuberant little one with just that same kind of enthusiasm that we might have seen in Walter. There's probably one day she'll be able to do those songs in his style. And she's missing him terribly. Like, where's Waddy? She would call him Waddy. Where's Waddy? Why isn't Waddy here? And well, he's not feeling well, and he had to go to the hospital to get the kind of medicine that he needs. And then she saw a little bottle of pills on the table and said, "But here's medicine. He could come here." So that's been very touching, and and I'm emotional because I've been in touch with Zoe a lot. I'm her godmother, and so we've been talking very often, about just how to navigate this phase of the journey. And and I've talked to Kim a lot. I was Kim's Baba contact, and I don't know, but I do feel, I have the sense that Walter has been receiving and feeling this love that has been showered on him, starting last Sunday at the RT, and through various connections during the week and today. And he's so much in Baba's hands, and I don't know what this period, how it will unfold, but I have a very strong sense that he will be fine, however it turns out. That if he physically pulls through this, I think his life will be very different, because I think he'll need much more care, but I think he'll still be feeling the love. And if he doesn't physically pull through it, he'll be going to Baba and be just feeling the joy at going home.
One of the things Pamela and I have talked to Kim about is that she's been staying overnight with Walter in the ICU, and she says the room is full. It's so touching. Walter is feeling all of us there, and Kim with him. And Kim is it's really helped her go through what is happening. She said the room is filled with Baba's presence. There's such an incredible, loving vibration in the ICU with Walter and Kim.
Yeah, Baba's photo is there. Walter's, and actually when we were together the other night singing to Walter, Kim had the phone to his ear, and she asked him to squeeze her hand if she could hear us singing, and he did. So he's aware, he's receiving, but it's kind of that, that in between period.
So last Sunday at RT at the Mayhair Center at the barn, Christine shared her little vignette that was so sweet. You remember? She said that very recently, her mother, Nancy Nordine, matriarch of the Nordines, was at Baba's house and saw Walter, and they had this nice little interchange, and one saying to the other, "Hey, how you feeling?" "Oh yeah, well, And Nancy Nordine says, I'm really looking forward to my next life. And Walter says, yeah, me too. So sweet. So sweet.
Well, yeah. I mean, Walter was so vibrant and able to just, loved running and, would often run with Mimi and Eric Friedlander, and they would take these long runs on the beach and all of that's been diminishing, as his lungs have been compromised through this illness. And, so it becomes much harder. It's become much harder for him to just walk even a very short distance. And so, yeah.
I'm just
Go ahead.
I'm just realizing in all the years of teaching voice, Walter was my favorite student. He came to me to try to be able to sing on pitch, which never happened, but he sang with such intensity that I haven't ever had a voice student that sang with so much gusto. And I just love Walter's voice.
That I would have liked to have sat in.
What was that?
I would have liked to have been present or been able to eavesdrop on Kathy giving Walter voice singing lessons. That would have been that'd have been worthwhile. You got to pay for that.
Well, Walter, you're the best. We got a cleaning bucket already. Anytime in the future, it'll be there. You just pick it up, But stay on as long as you can with all that love.
Maybe Angela can lead us. It would sound goofy, but we all together sing Mayor Baba God Man. What do you call it?
Kathy's got a guitar.
Kathy's got a guitar here.
Right here, so.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the music. Oh, on the bottom there. Meher Baba,
Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man.
He is ever birthless. He is ever deathless. But he comes in man form, even for the faithless. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. He is here, he is there, his house is everywhere. He is here, he is there, his house is everywhere. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. And where I am not, he is always found there. And where I am not, he is always found there. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God Man. Do not do anything while doing everything. Do not do anything while doing everything. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God land. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God land.
Oh,
There's a line from Erich where he would say, live your life on the stage of this world to such an extent that when you depart, Baba gives you a standing ovation.
You know,
Can you say that once more, Jeff?
Live your life on the stage of this world to such an extent that when you depart, Baba gives you a standing ovation.
That is so beautiful. So beautiful.
Let's give him a standing ovation now.
Yeah.
Yes. Avatar.
Meher
Baba
Ki
Ki
Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Wow.
Jai Baba Ram.
Hey,
Boy, oh
Baba.
boy.
Jai Baba
Walter.
Walter.
One little
We
extra
love you.
story here, if I can. Walter, you know, was so indebted to the center. So that was just one step up. And then when he stepped out from the center, he fell right in the hands of the Chestnuts. The Chestnuts were the original people that Elizabeth had taken care of the center. I shouldn't say the Chestnuts, but Joe Chestnut. And his brother, and I can't remember his first name, but anyway, when Walter got
Ducey.
no, that's
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
When Walter was just beginning, and he came from this long history of who am I? I'm the thug of the neighborhood, and now he becomes with all the work that I've got to say it again over and over that Kim put so much energy into helping him with his learning this
Real estate.
math and everything, and then Walter goes out and he does one of the biggest sales of his life, probably of many people's lives. He sold this whole complex on Highway 17 there, and he was automatic. He was automatic in whatever he did, whether he was cleaning cabins or whether he put his whole life and his energy into this. So, and he wasn't restricted to just those days of his youth where he was sleeping under bridges and whatever. Now he risen to the top here. It was unbelievable. Baba had to be just loving him and just pushing him forward, saying, Walter, you can do anything. And Walter did it. So.
Right, Denny. But the story didn't stop there. There was another life of from rags to riches and back to rags in that life of real estate work that Walter experienced. Becoming a millionaire, they paid cash. I think they paid cash for their home, perhaps there. They still own, fortunately, because they bought it lock, stock, and barrel. And then bottom fell out 2007, 8, 9. The mortgage world went haywire, and real estate was out of vogue, and Walter became poor again. And Kim had to go to work, and that's where they're kind of Yeah, and Pam can tell about that if she wants to. But that was this another, I mean, a story of the ups and downs of our lives. Walter was not educated, but he put him, he was guided and he knew how to, I don't know if he knew anything, but applied himself in such a manner that he succeeded in all the complicated facets of doing real estate and at a pretty high level and was very popular in his work with his clients and did well in it. Became a millionaire, and it was all lost in time later. They were spent it all. J-Bone.
A little visitor. Hi, Saja. You're muted.
Oh.
Pamela, you're muted if you wanted to say hi.
Oh.
Seja. Hi, Seja.
Who is that, Pam?
Granddaughter.
That is my granddaughter. This is Saroj's daughter
Oh.
named Seja, and she's 14, almost 15 months old.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
She just wake up.
She's just waking up. Say hi.
Looks like she's trying to figure out all the audience members.
Yeah, right.
I know.
On that note, let's close up for Walter. Jay Meher Baba, sending so much love to you, Walter.
Jay Baba, Walter. Jay Baba.
Jay Baba. Jay
Yeah.
Baba. Hmm.
We can't have just a very
Baba ki jai.
Oh,
Har Meher Baba ki jai.
Baba ki jai.
Mahatma Allah Ahura Mas Kara Yazadamhu Hari Para Matoma Allah Ahura Mas Kara Yazadamhu Hari Para Mahatma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yazadamhu Meher Baba Mahatma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yazadamhu Hari Para Matoma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yezadan Hu Hari Para Mahatoma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yezadan Hu Hari Para Matoma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yezadan Hu Hari Mahatoma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yezadan Hu Meher Baba Mahatoma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yezadan Hu Ripara Matoma Allah Ahura Mas Gara Yezadan Hu Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher
Avatar Meher Baba Ki
Baba.
Jai.
Beloved
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, until we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman until the very end. Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba.